Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube today. Hello, friends. It's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here for the final Ridiculously Raw of 2019. You may be wondering, why are you guys starting late? Well, for the first time in quite a while, we had an overrun on Monday Night Raw this evening, and unfortunately, the overrun was not to our liking, and we are going to dismiss that as a whole completely at the request of my elite panel here. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock, the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson. But we do have a lot of positive to get into on this show tonight. This was a newsworthy show, and let's not waste any more time. This was the final Raw of the year and the decade. And on this show tonight, it's going to be all about this. There is no Tony's Take tonight because there was no 205 Live. There was no Impact Wrestling. They're in best of shows right now. Either next week or the week after, we'll have the return of the Tony's Take, so don't worry. But the final Monday Night Raw of the year, live tonight from the XL Center, formerly the Hartford... excuse me. Live tonight from the XL Center, formerly the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, on the USA Network. And we're back to a two-man commentary booth. Samoa Joe obviously has been cleared for in-ring competition once again. So it's now back to Vic Joseph and Jerry the King Lawler. And I thought they did a phenomenal job like they always do. So we started it off with an in-ring segment. Surprise, surprise. And it was Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens... and he cuts a great promo about Seth Rollins in the AOP and taking out Rey Mysterio, and they addressed Andrade winning the United States Heavyweight Championship. We'll address that later on because he was in action. But then Rollins and AOP came out, and just as it looked like they were going to get the upper hand on KO again, out comes Samoa Joe. Yes, Samoa Joe is a face now. And then all hell breaks loose, and this was a very good opening segment. I got to say, this was the segment of the night right here. I'm not really big on the wrestlers setting up video packages when it feels like something that could be covered in a simple recap at the beginning of the show. But that being said, I did like the way that Owens tied in Mysterio's title loss to the Rollins and AOP attacks. So this all came out great. Joe is a babyface. I could definitely get with it. The fans love him anyway, especially MF. But, he had a great face run in TNA. He became a TNA heavyweight champion as a babyface. So let's see what happens with Joe as a babyface. I'm definitely intrigued by it. So it came out really good. This was to me the segment of the night and a great way to start off this solid and newsworthy final Raw of the year. So nothing more to say. Let's bring in good old MF Michael Fletcher. Come on in, MF. What a way to start it off. I mean, this is the way you like to have things start off, with total chaos. KO, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins in the AOP. All hell broke loose.
I like it, man. I thought it was a very good, solid way to start the show. I don't think there's really nothing bad to say about it. It could have been, I don't think you could have done any better than starting it out with that kind of explosion of a segment. I thought, like you said, it was segment of the night for me, so I really had nothing more to add. And Michael Bullock, I give it to you guys.
Yeah, I agree. This was definitely the segment of the night. I liked how Kevin Owens basically, like you said, talked about what the Seth Rollins and the AOP did to him, and then basically tying into Rey Mysterio losing the U.S. title because of Rollins and AOP, and then they come out and basically things got real crazy, and then that's when, like you said, we got Samoa Joe, and Joe's now a face, and I kind of like it. I mean, even though the fans there, they really like Samoa Joe anyway, even though when he was a heel. Yeah, so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, this was the segment of the night. So Didi Woodson, it's yours.
I totally agree. It's a segment of the night. Yeah, they they nailed it tonight. I mean, this was probably the best way that you could write a storyline to go out. Kevin Owens coming out there, not backing down for what the fourth week in the row with AOP and Rollins, and then he showed the video of them attacking Joe. They talked about Ray. This was the best way to do it, and even the little backstage thing right after it with Kevin Owens and Joe. I mean, that was even good because now we know Joe has his back. So yeah, Joe's a face. This is going to be good, and Rollins, he stepped up in this, taking the heel role. So this is going to be nice to kind of see, what they can do with these guys. So not much more I have to say about it. It's yours, Florio.
And now let's get into the in-ring action, and what a way to start it off here. The return match from TLC. It was Aleister Black squaring off against Buddy Murphy. Winner of the match, 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Aleister Black, he's now 2 for 2 against Buddy Murphy with not one, but 2 Black masked kicks. All right, MF. Now, I know they said these two stole the show at TLC. Now, compare the TLC match to tonight's match. Which match was better? This or
wow, that's a tough call. I could say they were equally good. I don't think you can really go one way or another, but let me tell you, they took their time with this match. They told a story with this match. You could easily call this fight of the night. Like, that's a given. This was 3.5 stars for me. I don't know how you could even say it. This was a good quality TV match that you want to see. You could even say this was a little bit like an NXT TakeOver style fight. I thought this was very good in good parts. It was slow at the beginning. It did pick up down the line, and it did pick up where it was, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It was really solid, and I got really nothing more to say. So, no, this was an excellent match. Michael Bullock, I guess I'll pose the question to you. TLC or tonight's Raw, which fight was better? I think it's equally. I think it's a complete draw here for me. At least for me, it was a draw.
You know what? I got to agree with you. I mean, it's tough to pick one over the other. I mean, both matches I thought really delivered. I mean, I'll give this one about 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, yeah, it was slow at the beginning, but boy, howdy, it really did pick up as the match really progressed. So, yeah, I mean, these two, they delivered a really good match again. I mean, they never seem to disappoint. So, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. As far as I'm concerned, this is the fight of the night. So, Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this was definitely about a 3 3/4 match. Really good stuff. Good sequel to the pay-per-view. They did a great job going out there and giving us everything they had. But yeah, it's kind of hard to say which one was better. But for this being the second time these two have met up, they've showed exactly what they could do, even from their prospective shows they were brought up from. So I have nothing else to say about it. It's yours, Florio.
Fight of the night, absolutely 3.5 to 3 3/4 stars. Another strong match from these two. I really hope they have plans for both guys, and hopefully they do a better job of establishing the babyface and heel dynamic. The crowd was receptive as the match went on, but I got the feeling that they didn't really know which wrestler they were supposed to side with. But nonetheless, I mean, two Dynamo talents. You give them time to work. And this is exactly what happened. This is the payoff that we get. And I'm right there with you. I mean, the TLC match was a show stealer. This was a show stealer. So well done, Aleister Black. Well done, Buddy Murphy. That's how you get it done. That was one of the finest TV matches I've seen in a while. So absolutely well done. So nothing more to say. Cutout time. And why not? Because, you know, we needed a cutout after that, you know, that chaotic start with KO and Joe and Rollins in the AOP and that awesome match with Murphy and Black. We get an Eric Rowan match, and Eric Rowan squashes the latest dummy of the week. For all you fans who bought tickets tonight, you basically got to see an idiot get pounded. And that idiot's name was Kip Stevens. And he got pounded by Eric Rowan in 1 minute and 45 seconds. So it is what it is. But now let's get into this. The Queen, Charlotte Flair comes out. She cuts a promo. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our first entrant into the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble match. And who better to be the first entrant on either side, women's or men's, than the woman who was the runner-up of this past year's Royal Rumble, which was Charlotte Flair. And then she, you know, cuts a great promo, and then she issues an open challenge. And who answers the call? It was Natalya. And we know the history of Charlotte Flair and Natalya. 2 matches that immediately come to mind. NXT in 2014, when they met in the finals of that NXT Women's Championship tournament. You remember, Charlotte's father, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, was in her corner. Natalya's uncle, Bret the Hitman Hart, was in her corner. Charlotte got the Duke. And then the other one, and a match that I know has a special place forever and always in MF's heart, because it was on SmackDown, back when it was SmackDown Live, when Charlotte took the SmackDown Women's Championship from Natalya in another incredible match, Charlotte's hometown in Charlotte. And then that emotional moment with Ric Flair after the match. I mean, we'll never forget that. These two never disappoint. And this was again the case tonight. Charlotte Flair, Natalya, one-on-one. Winner of the match, 14 minutes, 10 seconds. It was the Queen. The Queen does it again. Charlotte Flair with the figure 8 makes Natalya tap out. So Michael Bullock, come on in. It seems like every time Charlotte and Natty get together, they never disappoint. And this was the case once again here tonight. And Charlotte, first woman, first entrant into the Women's Royal Rumble match. So Michael Bullock, come on in. It's all yours here. Charlotte and Natty, 14 minutes, 10 seconds. The Queen wins it.
Yeah, these two never seem to disappoint us. I mean, they always seem to give us good matches, and this was another good example. I'll give this about maybe 3.5, leaning more towards 3.5, because this was just a damn good match. I mean, the history with these two, they know how to tell a really good story, and yeah, I mean, once again, the Queen gets the best of Natty. I mean, yeah, it seemed like tonight Natty looked really aggressive in the match. I mean, it's almost like she was a heel again. I mean, but yeah, I mean, and as far as the Charlotte becoming it's no surprise that she's the first entrant into the Women's Royal Rumble match, and you know she's going to definitely want to get a victory this time around. So, yeah, I mean, great work by both women. Nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this was a pretty good match. I mean, these two do have a great history together. They do have, great chemistry. The only drawback I see in it was the 24/7 nonsense that came out in the middle of it. For me, that kind of diminished the match just a tad bit. I mean, because you had this great match going on, then all of a sudden you had R-Truth and this trail of guys running around the ring, and I mean that just kind of took the momentum away from the girls into the stupid idiocy going on around the outside of the ring. So I'm going to say it's probably about 3 stars, only because of the fact of the 24/7 nonsense. So other than that, I mean, these two, that was great. The match was great. And yeah, who would say that, Natalia or Charlotte wouldn't be the first entrant to enter the Royal Rumble. Or throw their name in. So yeah, I got nothing else to say. It's yours, Florio.
Great match in NXT, check. Great match on SmackDown Live, check. Great match on Monday Night Raw, check. They completed the trifecta. They had awesome matches all the way around, and now they can say they've had an awesome match on all 3 main brands. So I am very happy with how this turned out. Didi brought up the 24/7 silliness. Yes, that was a distraction. But one thing needs to be addressed, though. I got to give kudos to my old friend, EY, Eric Young. He took that big boot from Charlotte Flair like a champ. That is all I can say on that. I mean, the Queen nearly kicked his damn head off. That was freaking insane. And Bullock and I on our Raw chat this evening, we were gushing over that. So, well, more so me, but anyways, even with the silliness, the only way Didi I would have frowned upon the silliness is if they would have thrown the match out because of it. Thankfully, they didn't. The match continued, so I'm going to overlook that, and I'm going to give this the rating it deserves, which is 3.5 stars. And I'm going to say this was the second best fight of the night. A well-worked match. But I have to be honest here. I mean, I don't understand who they wanted the fans to cheer or boo again. I mean, Charlotte is the egomaniacal queen, and apparently Natty has a mean streak and is barking at the fans again. So, other than that, though, another fun match between these two. It ranks up there with the NXT match, ranks up there with the SmackDown match, and they did it again here on Raw. They completed the trifecta here tonight. So all 3 brands these two have wrestled on, and all 3 times they killed it. So well done, Charlotte. Well done, Natty. Charlotte's officially in the Rumble, but MF, don't be surprised if we see Natty in it either.
Oh no, she'll probably be one of the 30 that'll make it. That'll comprise of the Royal Rumble women's match when we get to Minute Maid Park in Houston. So yeah, without a doubt, I think what they did was a really nice job. How they played the whole thing was actually nicely done, and everything worked for what it was worth. So no, at the end of the day, I think we got to wait and see how it plays out. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation down the line. So no, I liked it. I thought it was a really good job. I think look, the 24/7 comedy skit, as you were talking about, didn't hinder the match at all. So yeah, 3 stars is the correct rating. It was a great match. There was a little bit of comic relief in the match. And yeah, give credit to EY for eating that boot by Charlotte. Holy crap. She decapitated the poor kid. So I mean, there was really nothing more to say. It was a good match. Anthony, let's move on.
And MF, if we were doing commentary at that moment, we would have heard it, and we would have had our infamous. We would have done our whoa, and I would have said, "Did you hear that?" And what would you say?
Oh, you got that right. I probably would have yelled out, "Oh my god!" But
we would have done a whoa, and I would have said, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah.
And then you would always follow with, "Did you feel that?" My God.
Yep.
That's what you always used to do back in our day. But
yep.
But that's what I was trying to go for there. But nonetheless, but you got that right. Is close enough too. But yeah, great match between those two. And from what I'm hearing, when it comes to the Royal Rumble matches for both the men and the women, I heard a rumor that it's supposed to be 10 from Raw, 10 from SmackDown, and 10 from NXT. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that in the weeks to come. So, and then we had a backstage interview. My girl Charlie Caruso interviewing the man, the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, and to the surprise of none of us here, it is official. MF Bullock and Didi, at the Royal Rumble, the man will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors. So it is official now. So, and let's not kid ourselves. Becky's gonna get the win back. They're gonna want to give Becky the win back after Asuka went over her last year for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that's all there is to it. So that's now official. So I'm excited. So moving on, we had the OC come out. The OC came out and they cut a promo, and then they were interrupted by the Street Profits, and then it leads into a match. The Street Profits squaring off against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Winners of the match in 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Hey, the Street Profits. The Street Profits go over. And next week, on the first Monday Night Raw of 2020, in Didi's old neck of the woods, Oklahoma City. So shout out to Didi on that one. I'm sure she's excited about that. Next week, we are going to have ourselves a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The Viking Raiders will defend against both the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, and the Street Profits. So we got ourselves a championship committee moment here. So, in a way. So, Didi Woodson, started off with you. Street Profits go over. We got ourselves a triple threat next week in your old neck of the woods. How about it?
Oh yeah, I think it's awesome that they're doing a triple threat for the titles, because the Street Profits have pretty much proved that they know how to take care of the Good Brothers, or the OC, whatever you want to call these guys. And they have a point. You got this group out here that also is the name of a old teenage show. I mean, yeah, whatever. I like the way that these two handle themselves. So yeah. And I'm glad to see that they are building up this triple threat. I'm going to give it probably about 2 3/4 to 3 stars for this one as well. I mean, this is a excuse me, a really good match. They did a very good job, even with AJ, getting involved. I mean, they sent him back to the back to make it more fair. And it still came out to be, a great match. These, the 4 guys worked really good off of each other. So I have nothing negative to say about it. It's yours, Florio.
A little off subject here. That teenage show that they mentioned, the OC, MF. Come on, that was our guilty pleasure back in the day. Come on now.
Oh yeah, it was. Not only was it our guilty pleasure, but some of the people that were on the show are some of our favorite actors.
Oh yeah.
Still to this very day. So yeah, this was one of those shows back on Fox when Fox there was quite a few shows in the late 90s, early 2000s when Fox were really, really good.
Yep.
And this was one of the shows that led Fox back in the day.
Yes, sir. We each had 2. I mean, you had Adam Brody and Rachel Bilson, and I had Benjamin McKenzie and Misha Barton. So, but that's a story for another day. But yes, 3-star match for me. It was a solid match, solid work match, good action throughout, and now we got ourselves a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. First of 2 championship matches that we're going to see next week on that first Raw of the new year. So I can't wait to see how that all goes down in Oklahoma City. So I know for a lot of people that there's going to be the booking might be questionable here. You know, the Viking Raiders destroyed the Street Profits in 3 minutes. Then Gallows and Anderson get the better of the Viking Raiders, and now the Street Profits beat Gallows and Anderson, and they have set it up. It's now been set up. Triple threat match next week. So, but other than that, this was a very well worked, another quality match on this show here tonight. So I'm going to give this a solid 3 for the effort. So MF, in a way, you could say this was a championship committee moment because the Street Profits, with the win tonight, they've earned themselves a golden opportunity, and we got ourselves a 3-way next week in OKC.
Yeah, in a way, yes, I agree with it. But I also agree with it's kind of one of those situations where, all right, how can I say this? It's kind of more or less where there's a 1-up. Everybody's gotten a win, so something's got to give. Next week, the final battle for the titles, and basically in any grand scheme of things, somebody's walking out with the tag team titles. Everybody got a victory over one another leading up into this, so it's basically who do you pick? So it was a 3-star match, no doubt about it. Great match. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. It's going to be very interesting to see. So nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give you the effort here. I mean, this was a really good match here for the effort. Yeah, and now the Street Profits, along with the Good Brothers, are going to get the opportunity at the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team titles next week. So I'm very interested to see how this all plays out. So nothing more to say. Let's just move right along, Florio.
All righty. And we are going to move on to, well, another cutout here. 2-on-1 handicap match. Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder went up against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre squashed them both in 50 seconds. So I'm hopeful that McIntyre destroying these Hammonegers is leading to him either winning the Royal Rumble match or doing something big. He's done more than enough wheels spinning. And I am hopeful that this guy, gets a big push. So that's all I can say on that, because here's a guy who has been criminally underutilized, and I'm hopeful that he'll have a big year in 2020. Then we had this next segment I am gonna call a good old MF Michael Fletcher special. Oh yeah, MF, this is gonna be for you here, because it's your boy, the Viper Randy Orton. Now, a lot of dirt sheets came out last night that Randy Orton suffered an injury at a house show in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And
some people reporting it was a torn ACL.
Yeah. And Randy Orton came out to address the issue. And then he was interrupted by the phenomenal AJ Styles. And I don't know if they were trying to set up a WrestleMania match, because they brought up WrestleMania. And I mean, I would not be opposed to these two having a WrestleMania rematch after the great match they had this past year. And this was vintage Randy Orton here, because Orton basically said, "You're patient." He told AJ, "You're patient. I'm not." Boom. RKO out of nowhere. This was the second best segment of the night. It's great to see that Orton is healthy despite the scare or swerve or whatever happened at the house show. The angle was fun, and Styles did a good job of getting heat before Orton put him down with that RKO. So, well done segment here. This was the second best segment of the night for me. So, all right, MF, your boy. This is why you love him so damn much.
He
right?
did it again. He did it again. Oh man. All right. Now, let me tell you, we all were on, especially me, when I heard news broke out, because I was probably one of the first ones to hear it. I went on full on catatonic panic when I heard Orton went down. I heard it was that he got hurt. Hershey, Pennsylvania. I heard and let me tell you, Hershey is a very special place for Randy Orton. No, it's not Hershey. It's not Hershey. I stand corrected. So, but I'm gonna say that the injury happened, and yeah, full on panic, going in, and then Derek found out, because I guess he heard from Meltzer, Uncle Dave, as we like to call him, that no, it's not a legit injury. That it's not a bad injury. That the injury that happened was because it was it looks like it was a kayfabe work. Thank God it was a kayfabe work, because if it was a legit injury, man, that would have been bad. That would have been seriously bad. So at the end of the day, yeah, Randy Orton once again strikes again. RKO out of nowhere. I don't know if people wants to see an Orton Styles 2 though for WrestleMania. I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I kind of feel like maybe Randy deserves better than him. I know there was rumors about maybe The Rock versus Orton for Mania, but I guess we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, really nothing more to say. So, Michael Bullock, it's all yours. Yeah, awesome night, awesome.
Yeah, all I can say is, hey, never, never trust a Viper. AJ Styles should have learned it from the very beginning, especially when he first crossed paths with him. He thought he could get one up on the Viper, especially with him being hurt, but at least he was not hurt at all. And yeah, he paid for it with an RKO out of nowhere. And yeah, let that be a lesson to you, AJ. You poke the Viper again, I would not be surprised if he hits another RKO on him next time, to the chagrin of our own resident Viper, Michael Fletcher. I mean, when is AJ Styles ever going to learn to not mess around with a Viper? When is he going to learn it? Obviously, never. So, nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Okay, for me, this would be my segment of the night because, I mean, who couldn't? I know a lot of people didn't see this coming. Me and Kevin, we actually saw kind of saw through it. You know, we kind of knew that this was not a legitimate injury. That Orton has played this card before, and so is many other guys. But yeah, I mean, he really made it look real, and he also has tweeted since then. I put it in the private chat box, but he said the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist, and then to kiss my bleep AJ. So yeah, he definitely pulled the wool over AJ's eyes. He definitely set up something that's going to be big. When we get the match, I don't know, but this was definitely a very awesome segment. I loved every minute of it, and Randy Orton is true form. So yeah. So basically, I guess that's about all I have to say about it. He took care of the soccer mom, so it's all yours, Florio.
Okay. Then we had Andrade, our brand new United States heavyweight champion, Andrade, with Zelina Vega, as always. And then from there, well, it looked like they were going to have Andrade squash a jobber, but then then he gets interrupted by Ricochet, and then it turns into a match between Andrade and Ricochet, and Andrade wins the match, 11 minutes and 15 seconds. So no championship committee moment here, because if Ricochet had gone over, there most certainly would have been a championship committee moment here. So Andrade wins it, 11 minutes and 15 seconds, and MF, that devil S that you love so much, Zelina Vega, she was the dividend again.
Well, you know what? I got to say, now that my man Andrade is United States heavyweight champion, you got to defend it at all costs. Ricochet's a good contender. He's a great challenger, no doubt about it. But you know what? And that's the thing. When you're a champion, you got to do it any way you can. And I know a lot of people is like, look, they finally pulled the trigger. They gave Andrade the belt. Let's see what they do with it. Look, nice start to the reign. Even though it was non-title, but that takes Ricochet out of the picture, at least for now, we hope. But we'll see what happens. I liked it. Solid match. Good worked match. I don't mind the Zelina interference. And the thing is that, look, love her or hate her, and I'm going to say it, love her or hate her, they are a formidable team. I don't know why they're trying to pull the trigger, to try to slither and try to show that there's friction between the two. There shouldn't be no friction. I don't know why they were doing that angle. I thought that was stupid. But when they're together, when they're cohesive, when they're united like this, they are dominating. Nobody's going to stop these two. And I think WWE realizes that. Andrade is one of the best things that happened. It's a damn shame he never got any titles on SmackDown. I'm glad he got it on Raw. And let's see what happens there. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I'll give this about 2.5 stars. It's yours.
Yeah, I got to give it about 2 to 2.5 as well for the Andrade and Ricochet match. And first off, I got to say, Fletch, what the heck was Zelina Vega wearing? I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, holy smokes. I mean, or should I say, what wasn't she wearing? I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, I'm pretty sure when you saw what she was wearing, your eyes must have popped out like one of those freaking cartoons that
old school Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yeah, one of those old Tom and Jerry cartoons. But man, oh man, I mean, I don't know what else they're saying on it, but yeah, I mean, Ricochet, I mean, we were hoping for that championship committee moment, but obviously that's not going to happen. I mean, thanks to Andrade holding on to the to Andrade winning, but yeah, come next week, he's going to have to defend that title in the rematch against Rey Mysterio. So we'll see how that goes. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, this was a good match. It wasn't the best that these guys have had, but yeah, it was a good match. I'm going to give it about 3 stars. And then looking forward, we have Andrade and Rey coming up. But yeah, this was good. Zelina, of course, getting involved. When doesn't she? And we all kind of know how I feel about that, but we all also know how Fletch feels about it too. So, yeah. Me, I'm not a fan of the interference thing, but that's just me. Uh, but this was, good way to set Andrade up for this the match next week. Give him kind of a high horse to go off of. So yeah, I don't have much else to say about it. So it's yours, Florio.
I disagree with MF and Bullock's rating. This was a solid 3-star match for me. The match was entertaining, but I am very disappointed that they didn't treat Andrade's title win with more fanfare. This felt like a great opportunity to let Zelina Vega shine on the microphone with a gloating promo, while also putting to rest the oddball story of her and Andrade teasing a split, which never led to anything. But, it is what it is. But the match was really good, though. So that's all there is to say on that. We got a huge Monday Night Raw next week. The first Monday Night Raw of 2020. Just to hype that up. 2 championship matches. Andrade, Rey Mysterio, the return match from the house show in Madison Square Garden. And oh, by the way, it seems like every time that a title changes at a house show, it's almost always at Madison Square Garden, nowhere else. So just wanted to get that off my chest. Andrade and Rey, if it's anything like those classic matches they had on SmackDown, we should be in for something really special next week in Oklahoma City. So that's the first title match. The second title match, the triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championships, with the Viking Raiders squaring off against the Good Brothers and the Street Profits. And believe it or not, for the first time since I believe right around Survivor Series or so, our WWE champion's actually going to be on the show. How about that? Brock Lesnar. He's actually going to come out of hiding for once. That's good. I love it. So we'll see Brock Lesnar. We're very likely going to see Paul Heyman as well. I'm thinking it's going to have something to do with who he's going to face at the Royal Rumble. That's just my prediction on that. So you've got all that for next week. And then, oh boy. I don't even know what there is to say about what we witnessed. Except I'm going to read an excerpt from Derek Ferrera. Derek Ferrera posted this on his Facebook, and I quote, "Hey, Vince McMahon, I hope your ratings and your stock sink to company-wide historic lows. What you delivered at the end of Raw was one of the most embarrassing and revolting segments I have ever witnessed. Your removal will be an effing blessing when it happens." So those are the words from Derek Ferrera. He never holds back. That's why we call him the hardcore pipe bomb in so many ways, especially if you saw that hotline he did last night. But that's neither here nor there. That's what I'm trying to say. So it was the wedding of Bobby Lashley and Lana. We get this idiot that comes out that claimed to be Lana's first husband. And then the young lady. Now, I don't know if that was Crystal Marshall or not. It looked like her. I don't know if it was Crystal Marshall or not. The woman who went after Lashley. But, Lashley took out the idiot and Lana took out the girl there. And then we get Liv Morgan. We had been wondering what was going to happen with Liv Morgan. And apparently they were trying to go for a lesbian love affair with Lana and Liv Morgan. Whoa. And then you saw a big cake in the ring. And I told Bullock this during our Raw chat. I'm like, Rusev's going to come out of that thing and he's going to go after Lashley and Lana. And sure enough, he did. So out of respect for my colleagues here, this is going to be a cutout here. I asked them if they wanted to get into it. All 3 of them vehemently said cut out, and I give you. So you guys are not going to get in. I'm not going to have you guys get into this, but I'll sum it up. I'll take it for a spin since it is my show. So The very worst of the Attitude Era just closed out the final Raw of the year. Wrestling weddings are typically good for ratings, but this felt really flat throughout the night. The build-up during the show was bland, and WWE just didn't make this feel like an event. And given the over-the-top antics in the ceremony, I'm surprised they didn't make this feel bigger. I'm all for some soap opera-style storytelling, but this did nothing for me, and it did not leave me looking forward to seeing where any of these characters go next. My guess is we're probably going to get a mixed tag with Rusev and Liv Morgan against Lana and Lashley down the line. So that's really all there was to say about that. That was...
Didi made a very good and a very good argument saying that the best wedding ever was Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth from SummerSlam 1991.
Absolutely.
Oddly enough, the only wedding that went uninterrupted, actually went straight through, no interruptions, no nothing, no drama. It was perfect. It was absolutely a perfect wedding. It was the perfect backdrop, the perfect location of Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Yep.
And yeah, you're absolutely right, Didi. The perfect wedding, the best wedding ever in WWE was Macho Man and Elizabeth because there was no interruptions. Now, there was chaos and drama in the reception.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as the wedding goes, there was nothing. It was straight through. 10 minutes.
Plus, on top of that, it was legit.
Yeah. It was a legit wedding.
Yes, indeed. And
wait. Should I say it? Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to drop the bomb here. It was a wedding, I guess, in a way, because actually in real life they were married way before the actual wedding in 1991.
Right.
They were married. They were married 7 years prior.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and then they divorced. They divorced the year after 92.
Yeah, but that was a legit divorce.
Yep.
This was a WWE storylined wedding.
There was another. There actually was another that had no interruptions, and that was the very first wedding they ever did on a Saturday night's main event. Uncle Elmer and Miss Vicky.
Well, are you really sure about that? No. Wait. Time out. Hold. I was going to say, are you sure about that, Florio? Because there was one big interruption by Roddy Piper. Are you really sure we want to call that legit all the way through type wedding? Even though they did get married and it did happen, and actually there was some funny moments. Mean Gene Okerlund, God rest his soul, playing the pipe organ.
Yep.
And Jesse the Body Ventura's commentary on that event.
Yes.
I think that was absolutely hilarious. I'll give it WWE Network. I loved Vince McMahon. I loved Jesse.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I kind of wanted it to say, wait, hold.
You're right.
So,
but if you're gonna talk about the best wedding the best wedding that had interruptions, Stephanie and Test are all-time favorite, MF.
Oh yes.
You did the Hunter so damn brilliantly.
Well, that was at the time where I was kind of being like the Triple H mark before Randy Orton. I was definitely all about Triple H and yeah, I kind of was imitating Triple H and his gimmick, and I try to do the voice of him a little bit. And yeah, Florio and Mike Bullock remembers what I was doing, especially at the end. Once it wasn't
part at the end.
Yeah, I'd rather not say it out of respect for Didi Woodson, because I know how she is, and I know what you are now, Florio, about that man of good faith and everything else. Exactly. So I'm not. Even though I kind of like to toe the line a little bit,
Yes,
but
you do.
I'm not going there. I'm not gonna do it.
But there have been some great ones over the years. Another one that just came to my mind. What about that Edge and Lita one that Kane interrupted?
Oh Lord.
Yep,
I think Didi would just said it all on that one.
basically like the
Yeah,
priest.
I think that's her way of saying no comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only comment I will put on this Lana Rusev Lashley crap that we had tonight was something that I believe Jerry Lawler brought up, and that's the whoever this was that was reading the script that Lana wrote for the wedding looked a little bit like the coach from the Patriots.
Belichick?
That's what they said. Go back and play it again because it was Lawler who said it.
Well, we'll definitely have to look into that. But
Well, Hartford, Connecticut, a little bit of a New York Patriot pun or a little shot at the Patriots. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, but the thing is that when sometimes I don't know. That's an interesting swipe. If that was geared towards the Patriots, but then again, it seems like everybody's just smacking the Patriots around, especially after what happened yesterday.
And you were there in attendance, MF. So
oh yes,
you and our dear friend Eric Carrier as well. So yeah,
and trust me, I'm still just side note, and I know you're talking about it for Thursday, but I'm still getting. I don't know what it is about you Chiefs fans. Okay, I get it. I know you're happy that you guys got the 2 seed. I know you're appreciative, but I don't understand why you want Ryan Fitzpatrick to be banging the freaking drum. What the hell is that crap about? I'm getting into that on Thursday. Enough. Florio, go.
Yeah, we'll get into that on our big football show on Thursday night, and I do mean big. So, anyways, let's get into our overall review here. I've lost all control of this thing, so I'm just gonna start it off. So, other than that ridiculous segment at the end, this was still for me a solid 7 out of 10 because we had 4 quality matches on this show here tonight. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, they tore it down once again. Charlotte and Natty, they didn't disappoint. The tag match with the Street Profits and the Good Brothers, that was a solid match. And Andrade and Ricochet, man, that could have been something really special. But they still put on a great show. That could have been a great title feud, but it is what it is. But and then 2 very good segments as well. The opening segment, and then of course the segment with Randy Orton and AJ Styles, that came out really good as well. Yes, we did have a couple of cutouts there. We had a couple of squash matches for McIntyre and Rowan, but the only thing that keeps this from going any higher is that ridiculousness at the end of the show. So about 7, teetering on 7.5, but this was still a solid and newsworthy edition of Monday Night Raw, the final one of the year, setting up for that huge show next week. So hopefully that show delivers in spades in Oklahoma City. So 7, 7.5. That's about the correct rating for this. So nothing more to say. MF, despite the ridiculousness at the end, still way more positive than negative at the end when all is said and done.
7 out of 10, absolutely right. I really got nothing more to say. Yeah, that's it. So it's all Michael Bullock. It's all yours.
Yeah, I agree. 7 out of 10 for me. I mean, I agree with everything that you guys have said. So I'm just gonna give it to Didi Woodson.
Yeah, it was 7 out of 10. Very newsworthy and very for a change storyline driven show. The only other thing I'll say is I said this to the guys in a chat earlier. You can check out Tumblr and was it Twitter also?
Yeah.
That they were talking about Lashley wearing makeup. So yeah, That's about all I'm going to say. Very, very good show. Surprising because, Friday we were all saying that because of that, it was going to be a bad show. And the only other drawback was the fact that they did follow Lana through a lot of the backstage segments leading up to this fiasco. So nothing else I have to say. It's yours, Florio.
All right, and that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. And, well, we'll see you all next year because that's when our next show will be. Wednesday night, we will not have Wednesday Night Mayhem due to the New Year's Day holiday. Besides, it's only going to be AEW. AEW will have a live show, but NXT, it's going to be their year-end awards and some other things. So we're not going to do a Wednesday Night Mayhem on Wednesday. That will return the following week on the 8th. Thursday night, we will have this. MF, any word on a start time for that yet for Thursday? Considering we only have 4 games and the championship game to get into. Well, yeah.
What's up?
I was wondering about the start time for Thursday. What would be the best time to start on Thursday?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, because we only have 5 games to get into.
Yeah, so no, 10 p.m. That's fine.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good enough.
Yeah. NFL playoffs. They're going to be they're ready to go. And we're going to preview the 4 wild card games of wild card weekend. My Buffalo Bills squaring off against the Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans squaring off against Bullock's New England Patriots. Both AFC games on Saturday, and then both NFC games will be on Sunday. The Minnesota Vikings against the New Orleans Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks against the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll get into all that. And then in the main event, we will preview the college football playoff national championship game. The number 3 Clemson Tigers squaring off against the number 1 LSU Tigers. Oh boy, nothing short of fireworks in that one. So Clemson looking to successfully defend their national championship. LSU looking to win their first in about 15 or 16 years. So we'll see how that goes down. So that'll be on Thursday. And then Friday, Cerebral Smack Talk with MF. And it's a big show. Not only are we going to get into the first SmackDown of 2020, but MF is also going to preview the upcoming 2-part Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view. I can't wait to hear what MF has to say about that. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then next week we do it all again for a brand new year of Ridiculously Raw. And I'm hopeful that this will be a great year for Raw. So I'm not holding my breath. So we'll see on that. So, all right. So that's it. So until Thursday night for our big Football Thursday show, it's Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, for the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, and in spirit, always and forever, Derek Ferreira, the Hardcore Pipe Bomb. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my dear friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed and happy new year. Let's keep it safe on the roads out there. And of course, until Thursday night for our big Football Thursday show, you have been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on StreamYard and YouTube.com. And remember, friends, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.